Take these 3 things and put them on your to-do list because these are the only 3 things you need to be doing in your business every single day to actually see growth. Hello and welcome to Full Body Yes Sales, the podcast where we show you how to make more sales than ever in your online business in a way that feels authentic, empowering, and feels completely aligned with how you want to do business. Let's dive into today's episode. Hello and welcome back to Full Body Yes Sales. Today we are talking about the only 3 things you need to do in your business every single day for high income months on repeat. So consistent high income months, not just one 10K month here and there, but consistent high income months in your business. These are literally the only 3 things you need to do every single day. And I'm going to be breaking down what those 3 things are, what the process and logic behind these actually is, because it just makes sense. And that will fully convince you of just doing these 3 things. And also what that actually looks like to do these 3 things. What are some examples of how we can actually do these 3 things? What should I actually be adding to my to-do list? What should I actually be actioning essentially this week? So as I said, these are just 3 really, really simple things for you to do. They're not big things. They take an hour each every single day. They can literally be 10-minute tasks every single day in your business. They are so stupidly simple, and just no one does these. No one talks about this. That's why I want to do this episode on this. And most people I always find out of these 3 things, they're probably just doing one of them. They're not actually focused on all of these areas. And that's often why either A, we aren't getting to high income months. We aren't actually getting the sales and clients that we want, and we're finding ourselves really stuck on low income months. Or B, we're having a high income month and then we can't replicate that. The next month tends to be low, or we never stick and we see this big jump in the income, but it just doesn't stay and it can't stick around. If you're having either one of those problems, this is the episode for you. So the 3 things which I want you to focus on every single day in your business are actually the 3 actions behind my signature Full Body Yes Sales process. They are number 1, audience, number 2, leads, number 3, sales. So each day, I want you doing one thing for each of those areas. So I'm going to break down what those 3 areas are now and what it actually looks like to do something for leads, for example, every single day. What that actually looks like, some examples of how you can actually do that and how you can really actionably put this into your business today. So the very first piece of audience, that is the eyes on your business. These are the people that are in your space, the people who are following you, the people who are subscribed to your email list. This is basically just having ideal clients that are in your space, that are even listening to the things you're saying. And obviously we know that if we didn't have this, if we didn't have any ideal clients listening to us, actually hearing from us, subscribe to our channels, following us, reading the emails, etc. If we don't have that, there's no point in selling things, right? There's no point in doing those next 2 steps of leads and sales because no one's even listening in the first place, right? This is really a flow with these 3 steps of we need one to have the next one. So audience is really the place to start with. Do I have ideal clients even watching my stuff? Do I have ideal clients even following me? Do I have them in my space who would even want to buy from me in the first place before I think about, great, let's sell to those people? We need to know that we actually have people in the audience in the first place, right? Now, of course, yes, this is really important to focus on. And also, if we just focus on this area, would we make sales? Not really. We're just growing an audience of fans. We're not actually making any sales. So again, we don't want to just focus on this area. This is why I say focus on these 3 areas. Do something each day for these 3 areas instead of just one of them. Because if you just focus on audience, for example, you're going to get stuck in that cycle of I have loads of people saying, I love your content. I love what you're putting out. Really loved that email. But no one's actually buying from you. So you don't really have a business. You just kind of have an influencer-y type profile where you just have a load of fans following you essentially. So one thing that you can really do for audience every single day is the really simple things, which probably a lot of you are doing anyway, of posting, of actually sending that email, of actually creating a masterclass and promoting that in a Facebook group, whatever is going to essentially get more ideal clients just looking at your stuff. It's going to get them just, looking at your content. It's going to get them into your space. So for example, doing a collaboration with someone in a similar niche, all of those things, which is just going to bring new people into your space. So every single day doing something which brings new people into your space. Again, could be posting on TikTok and posting that new video because we know that's a great lead generation platform. It could be actually, doing a collaboration with someone else. Any of those types of things can be really, really helpful for actually growing your audience and actually just getting more people who are ideal clients seeing your things essentially. Now, before I jump into the next one of leads, if you are interested in actually following along with a sales challenge, which I am doing, which I mentioned in last week's episode, I'm doing a sales challenge on October 1st, where I'm actually going to help you to show up consistently and sell every single day in your business with these 3 areas in mind of audience, leads, and sales. And we're actually going to be giving you a list of exactly some actions that you can take for each of these areas to actually move the needle, to actually start getting consistent results in your business. And also we're going to be going through this as a group together and challenging ourselves to sell just with one sales action every single day. So if you're up for that, check out the link in the description. Make sure you sign up for the sales challenge. We start in just a week's time. So do not miss this one and make sure you sign up, and you can join us where we start on October 1st. Now, the second part of this process then is leads. So these are people who have put their hand up to some extent and said, hey, I'm interested in what you do. So these are people who maybe have signed up for that freebie, people who have joined you for that masterclass, people who have purchased that low ticket ebook from you, anyone who has put their hand up and said, hey, I'm interested in more of this. Essentially, they're not just following, they're not just reading the emails, they've signed up for something. They've put their hand up, they voted on a poll, whatever that is, of just saying, hey, I'm the ideal client for this. Hey, I do have that problem. I am looking for that solution. I would be curious about this. That's someone who's a lead, someone who we know they're interested, we know they're an ideal client. The difference here, the big difference here is that the audience, we don't yet know 100% they're ideal clients. We know they've followed, we know that they were somewhat interested in the content, for example, but that could be because they just love the vibes. To be honest, we don't 100% know that they are a business owner who is struggling to hit 5K months. If we're someone who helps you get to 5K months, for example, we want to know actually they are a lead, and the lead section is really where we're looking at, okay, how have they proven that they're a lead essentially? Have they voted on a certain poll? Have they signed up for that freebie? And you wouldn't sign up for the freebie if you weren't looking for the 10 ways to do this, which is what the freebie is called. So really, have they shown in some way, put their hand up, raised their hand and said, hey, I am interested in this. Hey, I'm the ideal client for this. I am struggling with this problem. I do want to learn more about this, etc. And again, with the importance of focusing on these three areas and doing something at all times for these three areas, if we're just focusing on leads, firstly, if we don't have the audience, it's going to be hard to get the leads. So yeah, we can post about the freebie as many times as we want, but if we don't actually have the audience of ideal clients even looking at our stuff, even knowing we exist in the first place, no one's going to be signing up for that freebie, right? And also similarly, the step after that of sales, if we're then, just talking about the freebie, for example, or just promoting that masterclass, but we're not talking about our offer, but we're not talking about how people can actually work with us, and we're not actually selling them anything, no one's going to be signing up, so we're not actually going to be getting any clients. So again, you need that three-step process, you need that flow there to actually start seeing consistent results. So an example of some actions that you can take in the leads area of your business is things which essentially just get them to raise their hands. This could be doing a poll asking, what is someone struggling right now? And giving a few different options that your ideal client would say. If your ideal client votes on, if you're a fitness coach, for example, and they vote on, yeah, I'm really struggling to get into a routine in the gym, we know they're an ideal client because we know they're struggling to get into a routine in the gym, which is exactly what we help people with. Similarly, if we've released a freebie and it's 10 steps to XYZ, which is something our ideal client would sign up for, something our ideal client would really love, and this person has signed up, they're a lead. Also, if we're doing a masterclass or something like that, and they've signed up, we know they're a lead. So really, any next step for people is a really, really great way to focus on this leads area. So promoting something which isn't necessarily your main offer. It's not saying come and work with me one-to-one. It's saying, who is struggling with this? It's saying, who would want a free call on this? It's saying, I have a masterclass coming out on this topic. Who would want that? I have a $17 ebook on this specific topic. Would you want the link to this? It's those types of things which are getting the leads because it's not yet making a big sale. It's not yet your main offer. It's just almost test the waters essentially. Okay, I'm curious about this, curious enough to download the freebie, curious enough to be interested in that masterclass they're doing, curious enough to vote on the poll and just see if they have any steps for me. All of those pieces are really focused on the leads area. So audience, again, is really just focused on, can I get more eyes of my ideal client on my things, actually looking at what I'm even talking about in the first place. And then leads is really, okay, can I get them to put their hand up and let me know that they're an ideal client? Actually move forward in the steps with me in terms of towards working together. And then that final step is sales. Now, I notice so many people, I think the most common pattern I see is where people will focus on audience and then sales and completely miss the leads part in the middle, right? So we'll get people into our audience, we will, actually focus on growing our audience, we'll do collaborations with people, we'll get more people into our audience, and then we'll straight away go, hey, here's my 5K coaching package. Do you want to purchase this? Here's the details. And we're kind of missing a step in the middle, right? People haven't got the opportunity to even see if they like working with us, even see if they like what we talk about, knowing even more about us. Even, for example, this podcast is such a great way for you to actually, see if you want to work with me, actually know what it's like to work with me, because you're literally listening to me talk for, 15, 20 minutes each episode, let's say. You're actually listening to me talk. You're actually seeing if, I have anything useful to add to your business, essentially. It's a really helpful way for you to just, test it, essentially. Try it before you buy it. And that's what the leads phase is really for. So that's really the purpose of having that. Of a lot of people, especially, we won't see them even go through that middle process. And it's really hard sometimes as a business owner if we don't have that leads section of actually, we will tend to, promote our offers and talk about our offers and see that no one's signing up and think nothing's happening, because most of that decision-making process, as I've spoken about before in this podcast in the very first episode, most of this decision-making process is kind of invisible. We can't really see. We only see when someone says, hey, I'm interested in this. So that leads process as well in the middle actually helps us to realize who even is a lead before otherwise we would have been made aware. So sales, again, is that final step there. That's really the final piece. But leads is really important towards actually getting people there. And once we know someone is a lead, we can speed up so much quicker how they actually get towards making a sale, because we know they're a lead. We can have conversations with them, share with them if they've said, yeah, I'm struggling with this. This could be a great recommendation, or watch this video of mine, or here's a reel, which I would definitely, start actioning there. That could really help you, etc. We can have those conversations if we know they're a lead. If we don't know they're a lead, kind of useless. We can't really have those conversations. So then obviously the final step we want to focus on is sales here. This is kind of self-explanatory. It's really that final piece of actually talking very directly about our offers, saying, here's the one-to-one coaching package, here's the course, here's the group program or the mastermind, whatever it is you're selling. Here is that final piece. Who wants to sign up for this, essentially? Who's interested in this? And actually pitching that offer to people. That is that final step there. And sales activities can really be so helpful when you have this whole process in place of those final step sales activities. If we know who our leads are, a lot of the time the sales activities aren't just needing to be, okay, let's just throw up the same Instagram story slides and hope for the best, essentially. It can actually be, okay, I know this person's a lead. I know this person was interested in this specific program 6 months ago, but they said the price was too high. So now I have this new program coming out, which is a lower investment. This could be a really great fit. So I'm going to reach back out to that person. Actually having that leads process makes it so much easier to have that final sales piece, because we actually know what we can do, and we just have more things we can do in the sales area without needing to be just keep posting up the same story slides and kind of hope for the best with your Instagram. So those sales activities, those sales actions to add to your to-do list for that very last step can kind of be one of two types. Firstly, you've got the very much speaking to everyone kind of type of sales action there of I'm, posting on my Instagram that I have one space open for one-to-one. I am sending out an email letting people know that this offer is coming and here's the wait list for it. It's actually very much reaching out to everyone. It's posting things very publicly, talking about your offer, which is really helpful. And also by having that lead stepping process, we can actually do that second part as well, which is reaching out to individuals. And this is where some of your best sales can actually come from, is actually if we know that someone, as I said, was interested in a certain offer and had this certain objection, but now we have this kind of offer coming out, which kind of counters that objection. Great, let's reach out to them and share that with them, because we know that from that leads process. As well, if we have someone who has signed up for that masterclass we did a few months ago, and now we've got a new offer coming out, and based on what they said in the masterclass, we think this could be a really great fit, actually reaching out to that person. As well, reconnecting with past clients and seeing how they're doing, seeing if there's any room to, grow and evolve from there, seeing if there's any kind of other work they would want to do with you potentially. Those are really great sales activities as well. So they can very much be the speaking to everyone type of, I'm posting something very publicly, I'm writing an email, I'm doing a video promoting something, or it can actually be more on an individual basis of actually I'm reaching out to this person for this specific reason because I think this would be really great to them, essentially pitching something to an individual person. So those are the 3 steps of the sales process, and those are the things which you really want to focus on every single day to have consistent high income months. And the reason why I say those 3 things, as I've said throughout, is we really need the flow of those 3 things to get consistent sales. Once we've got those 3 things down, once we're actually doing something to move the needle in those 3 areas every single day, it becomes really easy for you to not just have a high income month, but have consistent high income months as well. It becomes really easy. It becomes really simple because we have a game plan of how we're actually going to be doing that. So what you want to do is take one of those 3 things and do one of those 3 things each day. It is such a powerful shift. in your business, and actually means that not only are we kind of mining those sales that we can get this week and making really fast cash, but we're also building really sustainable systems because we're getting the leads in right now, which are going to be our future clients. We're getting the audience members in who are going to be our future clients in months to come. And we're actually making it a really sustainable system by focusing on those 3 areas. So as I said, this is my signature 4BodyS sales process, which I walk through with my clients inside 4BodyS sales. And also I'm going to be walking you through inside the sales challenge as well, which is starting October 1st. So as I said earlier in the video, make sure you check out the link in the description to check out the sales challenge. Make sure you join us. The most no-brainer investment ever. I am going to be literally walking you through how you can actually make sales every single day in your business, what you actually need to be doing essentially to show up and sell every single day when people are talking about that, and how we can really master this 3-step process to have people coming in consistently as audience, as leads, and then as sales as well. So make sure you check that out. Come and join the group. It's going to be 90 days challenge to have your biggest and best quarter ever, and making it super, super simple for you to do that. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you in the next one. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the new episodes every single Monday, and I'll see you in the next video.